Well, hello and welcome to my vlog, and first in a new line of videos, really just speaking about my thoughts. And what I want to talk about today is COVID. Very controversial, and I just want to set a few sort of ground rules first. Firstly, I'm not attempting to be controversial. Secondly, I'm being honest. And thirdly, I'm not basing anything on conspiracy theories. And that's not me saying I don't necessarily believe in some conspiracy theories, maybe not related to COVID, but generally, but that's not the kind of video I want to make. So, firstly, it's the question that everybody asks. Vaccines. Have I had them? What do I think? Etc. So, yes, I have had them. I've had both, as in two. I just want to explain sort of my thought process around this and maybe give you some understanding of where my mindset is at on this. Sorry if you could hear my heating system in the background. That's strange. Hear the boiler kicking off. So yes, without going into too many personal details, both my fiance and my daughter are high risk. Thus, they require what would be called in the UK shielding. I don't know what the terms are in other countries, but basically one has a genetic condition and the other is very unwell. Again, I won't go into that due to privacy, which basically makes them both very susceptible to COVID and other virus types. So I made the decision, regardless of my thoughts and any risk perception on my part, to get the vaccines. Because ultimately, especially with my daughter in mind, who's less than 3 years old, I don't mind having that element of risk on me to stop her potentially getting COVID from me. Thought process on that, I go around quite a lot for work. I'm certainly the one that goes shopping and the likes, so if anyone's going to spread it, it's probably going to be me, and that would be probably to my daughter. I'm not doing anything to risk my daughter, thus I wear masks, use sanitizer, and have been vaccinated. Now, if I was on my own, a single bloke, without a fiance and a daughter, I probably would get vaccinated, honestly. I just wouldn't have done it as quick as I did in this particular situation. So that's my thoughts on vaccines. Am I aware of the risk? I am, but I am a statistician, or at least that's part of my professional field, and statistically I'm not that worried about the vaccine. Now, one thing I would say, however, is I actually did have quite an extreme reaction to the vaccine, the first vaccine that is. I was covered in sort of red marks for days and days. I actually had to call what's called NHS 111 in the UK, which is like a non-emergency line to the health service. And they didn't believe me that it was the vaccine, but there was nothing else, and it's never happened to me before. Nonetheless, I recovered. The second time I got the vaccine, nothing. It was fine. No issues at all. Now, they were both the Pfizer vaccine I got in the UK. I didn't want to get the AstraZeneca one just due to the slightly higher statistical chance of, becoming unwell because of it. So yeah, I got the vaccine. That was quite a while ago. No issues from that. I'm perfectly healthy. Apart from I'm slowly going bald, but I don't think that's vaccine related, unfortunately, or fortunately. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the COVID vaccine. Now, COVID generally, people are really conspiracy theory about it. Again, I'm not going to debate people who are going to quote random numbers. It isn't the flu, it's worse than the flu, and it's statistically a lot worse than the flu. People seem to mix up their pneumonia and their flu figures as well as other things. I'm really only talking about European numbers here, but I'm presuming it's similar. But I'm not getting into that debate. I do consulting services for certain statistical agencies and the like, and countries who are inherently selfish are not deliberately damaging their economies just to have some sort of weird sense of control. That's my fault on it. Especially the UK. If you look how buggered the UK is right now, and mainly Brexit, but COVID is having that impact as well. So I don't think there's a conspiracy theory of control. I think they already have the influence over us that people are thinking they're getting through COVID. But nonetheless, I think COVID is strange though, because it's not really going away. I know the variants, and I don't know. There's something off about it. I don't think it was made in a Chinese lab. I mean, COVID-19 isn't particularly new, so I don't. I know the theory is based on that. But I think there's something odd about it. And the one thing that I can't quite, there's sort of two things actually I can't quite take my mind off of, is this has inherently changed the world, regardless of natural or unnatural start of this. The world's changed, whether that's remote working is going to become a thing. I think there's going to be a slight move to moving rural again from urban areas. I think that's going to change for the first time in probably 150 years, or since the start of the industrial age. I think there's going to be more people living rurally than there is urban. People just want to get away, whether they believe in COVID or not. I just don't think they want to be too involved in it. And fundamentally, this is going to happen again. Say you don't believe in COVID, and I'm sure there's people watching this video that think COVID's a fake. That's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, as long as it doesn't hurt other people. But a virus will happen again, naturally, or, you know, something else. And we're completely globalized now. And we're just, there's no way out of it now. It will happen, and it will happen again. And that's a scary thought for me. I'm being somewhat selfish because of my family, especially my daughter. But I'm sure I'm not the only one, and I'm certainly not the most extreme situation as so many other poor people are in. So yeah, COVID, I realise I'm just chatting away about it, but that's kind of my thought process. I'm worried, you know, genuinely worried about, you know, where we're going in the world. Not just COVID, the next COVID, or whatever it you may be. I'm not worried about government control over us, at least due to COVID. There's other things, but you know, that's another story, and maybe another video. But I am worried about, well, humanity. I just can't see round the next corner of viruses, globalizations, or the next COVID, if you will. And that may not be a virus in the same way, but yeah, it's an interesting time to be alive. And we've got people like Elon Musk, who I'm not going to go as far as say as I like him, because he's a very odd person, but he's fascinating to watch, and I do believe he will get people to Mars. Maybe not by 2026 as he says, but by 2030, yeah, I think so. So we've got that going on. And then we've got people massively criticising people like him for not spending their money on, you know, feeding the poor. You know, he's a private citizen, he's South African. I know he's American now, but he's South African. I don't know why people are so focused on him sorting out solutions. That should be for our governments. And then we've got COVID going on, and then we've got like a huge change in, you know, world economy happening with the shift to China and the East in general. You know, there's all sorts of crazy things. Increased military budget spending in countries that haven't increased their spending since World War II, which is a reaction, I'm sure, to other, you know, sort of socio-political issues. But it's a fascinating time to be alive, and a scary one, honestly, quite a scary one. Anyway, I could chat all day about rubbish, and I'm sure not that many people enjoy listening to me chat about rubbish. But if you do, please click that like button, and we subscribe and comment. You know, I want to talk to people. That's kind of, this is a channel for my release, if you will, as in just a way to chat to people and talk about the issues that are bothering me and others. But anyway, folks, I really hope everyone's well, and have a good day. Thank you.